Okay, so hello once again, everybody, and welcome to today's lesson. I hope you're doing great. Thank you so much for being on time as usual. Good evening, Andres, Mayra, Alejandra, Ana, Andrea, Andres Prada, Elkin, Harold, John, Luisa, Silvia, Stephanie, and Judy. I hope you are doing great. So today's our second day of classes. Remember yesterday we were discussing something about our project. And in today's lesson, we're going to socialize the information about the project, okay? Before I continue, I would like to know whether you can listen to me well and if you can see my screen in this moment or not. Thank you so much in advance for your confirmation.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much for informing me. All right, so this is the project format we are going to be using for the project of this first cycle, okay? There are some important pieces of information here on top of the project, like for example, today's date, the two professors, and the level, the schedule, and so on. So the project that we propose for this first cycle is called Important Life Events, which is something we're going to be discussing during this cycle, okay? You will find here like the objectives that we want to achieve by working on this project. Pretty much this is the most important one. Like students at the end of the level, the learners will be able to demonstrate about what has been taught during the level one, being able to talk about an important life event, the type of event, when it happened, who was part of it, what exactly happened, why is it important so you still remember it, and so on. Now, we have a proposed schedule here, class number 2, which is today, November 29th, 2022, is, well, the socialization of the project. So sharing the project with students during class time, which is what we are doing in this moment. Now, class number 9, which is December 12th, if I'm not mistaken. Let me check the calendar here. So class 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 6, 7. We don't have classes here. 8 and 9. Yeah, that's December the 12th. So class number 9, December the 12th, 2022. During class time, that is to say from 6 to 10 p.m., you will have part of the class for us to monitor and check your advance of the project, okay? And then on the same date, that is to say class number 9, December 12th, 2022, is the deadline for you to send the first project advance via email. Please notice that the deadline is at 11:59 p.m. Okay, so also almost like midnight. So the idea is that you please send the first project advance via email. Send it to my institutional email if you would be so kind, odeparrape@correowis.edu.co. And then class number 10, which is the last class of this first cycle, December the 13th, 2022, students receive feedback on the first project advance. So it's not second, but the first project advance via email during the day, okay? You send this email, and then on December the 13th, you will receive your feedback via email. There is a microphone on. Could you possibly check? Angélica, tu micrófono está encendido. Could you possibly check? Thank you very much. Now, here is part of the vocabulary, the structures, etc., that you will need or that is proposed for the submission of this project, okay? So present simple, past continuous, comparative, superlatives, present perfect, live events, present perfect continuous, time phrases, adjectives, nouns and gerunds, giving opinions, types of questions, etc., which are some of the topics we're going to be covering during this first level, during the classes we are going to have throughout this cycle, okay? Now here, it's important that you double click on each section of this document for you to see the descriptions, okay? So in terms of the evaluation project, the project per se is divided into 3 different steps as follows. Number 1, first project advance, which is the activity that we were discussing just before. So students have to turn in a Word document, yeah, minimum 1 letter size page, which contain the following chunks of information: type of event, for example, a graduation, baptism, etc. When it happened, how it happened, who was part of the event, why is it important, how you felt, a full and deep description of the scenario, etc. That's the only activity that you have to turn in during this first cycle. Of course, there is more information about, for example, the second project advance and the presentation of the project, but this is going to be done later, okay? In any case, I want to read this for you. So second project advance, students have to turn in a slideshow as an audiovisual aid, which must only contain keywords, titles, pictures, and video clips. PDF files won't be accepted, okay? So Canva, Prezi, PowerPoint, etc. are suggested instead. And then the first step, which is the presentation of the project, this will be done later on, not this year. Students have to give the project presentation online. During these 3 steps, the 4 linguistic skills will be assessed, that is to say, listening, reading, writing, and speaking. But especially we're going to focus on speaking because this is an oral presentation. More precisely, students will be assessed and evaluated in terms of use of language, pronunciation, intonation, spelling, capitalization, wording, use of tenses and structures. And once again, tasks are to be sent to my email, which is this one. All right. Now, I'm very quickly going to say this in Spanish. ¿Listo? Bien, básicamente, este es el formato del proyecto que se propone para este primer ciclo. Ustedes aquí van a encontrar en el encabezado, pues, parte de la información inicial que corresponde a nuestro grupo. El nombre del proyecto es Important Live Events. Aquí están los objetivos propuestos para este proyecto, lo que se desea alcanzar con este proyecto. Esta es la descripción general del proyecto, ¿listo? Se espera que los estudiantes, bueno, esto hay que cambiarlo un poquito, ¿vale? Esta descripción quedó ahí repetida. Esto se puede modificar, no se preocupen. Entonces, bien, ¿qué es lo que se espera que ustedes puedan hacer? Hablar sobre un evento importante en sus vidas, ¿sí? Sobre un acontecimiento importante en sus vidas. Puede ser su bautizo, puede ser pues, su primera comunión, si por ejemplo son creyentes, puede ser su graduación del colegio, su graduación de primaria, su graduación de la universidad, si de pronto ya culminaron estudios, su cumpleaños, cualquier cumpleaños, cualquier otro evento importante de sus vidas del cual ustedes quieran hablar. Se proponen unos en el libro, pero pues ustedes también tienen la libertad de escoger otro si de pronto consideran que es más relevante que los propuestos en el libro. Entonces, básicamente, eso es lo que se propone para este proyecto. Entonces, los estudiantes pueden hablar sobre un evento importante de sus vidas, deben mencionar cuál es el evento, el tipo de evento, cuándo ocurrió, quién fue parte de este momento, de este evento importante, cuándo ocurrió, por qué es importante, de tal manera que ustedes aún recuerdan este momento, and so on. ¿Listo? Entonces, aquí encontramos como un cronograma de actividades. Tenemos pues el número de la clase, la fecha y la descripción de cada uno pues de estos momentos. Entonces hoy clase número 2, noviembre 29, es la socialización del proyecto con ustedes, lo que estamos haciendo en este momento durante clase. El 12 de diciembre, que es la clase número 9, si no estoy mal, entonces durante el tiempo de clase se va a monitorear, van a tener ustedes un espacio como para mostrarnos lo que han hecho hasta el momento. Pero porfa, es muy importante que ustedes empiecen a adelantar su primer avance del proyecto, porque ese mismo día, a las 11:59 de la noche, deben enviar el primer avance del proyecto. ¿Listo? O sea, en esta clase ustedes ya deben haber realizado el primer avance del proyecto. Nosotros sencillamente lo que vamos a hacer es monitorear, ¿cierto? Hacer como una revisión final para que ustedes nos puedan mostrar lo que han hecho. Y más tarde ese día, 11:59 de la noche, como fecha y hora límite, se envía el primer avance del proyecto a mi correo electrónico. El día siguiente, diciembre 13, que es la última clase, clase 10, ustedes van a recibir a través de correo electrónico la realimentación respectiva para ese primer avance de proyecto. ¿Listo? Este proyecto pues no lo se realiza individualmente, ¿vale? Porque pues es algo bastante subjetivo, es un evento importante, un acontecimiento importante de cada una de cada una de sus vidas, ¿listo? Entonces, por eso lo vamos a trabajar individualmente. Estos son los temas que se proponen, que están relacionados con lo que vamos a estudiar en este primer ciclo. Sin embargo, si ustedes consideran que pueden incluir algo más, tienen la libertad de hacerlo. Y aquí está la descripción en cuanto al proceso de evaluación para cada uno de los avances de proyecto, el primer avance, segundo avance y la sustentación del proyecto. Sin embargo, por ahora solamente van a presentar el primer avance del proyecto. Aquí pues está la información completa, pero por ahora solamente el primer avance del proyecto. Entonces, el proyecto está dividido en 3 momentos distintos. Primer avance del proyecto, los estudiantes deben enviar un documento formato Word, porfa, no en PDF, un documento de Word mínimo, se propone como mínimo una página de Word, tamaño carta, claramente pues en una letra, no sé, 12, ¿sí? De tal manera que ustedes puedan plasmar toda la información que se les pide. Por ejemplo, la siguiente información, ¿cierto? El tipo de evento, si fue la graduación, si fue el bautizo, si fue el matrimonio, si fue el cumpleaños número 15, ustedes deciden, ¿listo? ¿Cuándo ocurrió? ¿Cómo ocurrió? ¿Quién fue parte de este evento? ¿Quién estuvo con ustedes en ese momento? ¿Por qué es importante? ¿Cómo se sintieron? Y una descripción muy detallada, pues, de ese momento, ¿cierto? ¿Qué estaba ocurriendo? ¿Quién estaba? Cualquier cosa que ustedes consideren importante recordar, lo pueden plasmar ahí, ¿listo? Entonces, eso es lo que deben hacer para el primer avance del proyecto. En cuanto a las otras fases, es decir, segundo avance del proyecto y la sustentación del proyecto, pues para el segundo avance del proyecto, que ya será el otro año, se les va a pedir una presentación de diapositivas como una ayuda audiovisual que ustedes van a utilizar para sustentar su proyecto, ¿cierto? En esta presentación de diapositivas, pues solamente van a incluir palabras claves, títulos, imágenes, videoclips cortos. No se aceptan documentos en formato PDF, porfa. PDF pues no es el mejor formato para una presentación de diapositivas. Se sugiere, por lo contrario, Canva, Prezi, PowerPoint u otro herramienta en línea de pronto que ustedes conozcan que permita elaborar una presentación de diapositivas. ¿Listo? Eh, Más adelante, pues también se van a dar las fechas para el envío del segundo avance de proyecto y para la revisión, es decir, la realimentación que ustedes van a recibir a través de correo electrónico. Y en cuanto a la sustentación del proyecto, pues los estudiantes deben sustentar su proyecto en línea. Durante estos 3 momentos, las 4 habilidades lingüísticas serán evaluadas. Más precisamente, los estudiantes serán evaluados en los siguientes aspectos: uso del idioma, pronunciación, entonación, uso de mayúsculas, minúsculas, ortografía, la selección de palabras, vocabulario, uso de tiempos y estructuras, entre otros aspectos varios. Al final, pues se les tendrá en cuenta también la fluidez, el tiempo de la sustentación, que ustedes demuestren dominio del tema. Al ser algo significativo, porque es muy subjetivo y muy individual, pues claramente podrán demostrar dominio del tema. Y todo se envía a este correo electrónico. Entonces, por ahora, esto es lo que deben hacer. ¿Sí? Ustedes recibirán este formato de proyecto a través de correo electrónico para que vayan adelantando pues esta primera tarea que se les pide, llamada primer avance de proyecto, que hace parte de nuestro sistema de evaluación. ¿Ok? Questions? Andrés, what's your question?
Hola, profe.
Hi.
Profe, es que no sé si usted lo comentó la clase pasada, pero bueno, se supone que la nota mínima para pasar es 3.6.
Ujú.
Eh, ¿Qué pasaría si uno no llegase a alcanzarlo? Pues
Señor,
esa nota,
qué pena, no
¿qué
escuché lo último. Nota mínima para
pasaría
probar.
si uno no
3.6.
llegase a alcanzar? Señor,
Nota
la
mínima.
pregunta es, la pregunta es ¿qué pasaría si uno llegase a perder? Pues, o sea, ¿qué pasaría con el resto del curso, del programa?
mm, Bueno, esa es una muy buena pregunta. Tendría que hacer la consulta. Creería yo que pues no se podría dar continuidad. Sin embargo, no me gusta asumir, entonces voy a preguntar. ¿Listo? A ver qué
Ah,
ocurre.
ok. Vale, vale, gracias.
Sure thing, my pleasure. So, have you got any questions about the project? ¿Tienen alguna pregunta sobre el proyecto?
Yo tengo una pregunta.
Yes,
Bueno,
certainly.
parece. Hay un tiempo determinado para la presentación que hay que hacer al final?
Sí, no te preocupes. En su debido momento, pues por ahora como solamente van a enviar el primer avance, en su debido momento se informará más o menos, pues en 2, 3 minutos aproximadamente por estudiante, teniendo en cuenta pues que es un grupo de 22 estudiantes aproximadamente, pero está sujeto a modificaciones, no te preocupes. Nosotros les informaremos sobre el tiempo de la presentación del proyecto. ¿Ok?
Y otra pregunta, pero fuera de este tema, ¿el 8 de diciembre vamos a tener clase?
No, acuérdate, como lo mencionamos ayer en clase, 7 de diciembre no hay clase, 8 de diciembre no hay clase tampoco.
Ah, bueno,
Ni el
gracias.
7 ni el 8 tenemos clase, no te preocupes. O sea, la próxima semana tenemos clase. Esta semana tenemos clases todos los días. Próxima semana, lunes, martes, tenemos clase. Miércoles, jueves no hay clase y retomamos el 9. Pues por festividades, ¿no? Good. So, any other questions that you may have about the project? No?
Profe, yo llegué tarde, qué pena, pero la información usted me la va a dar por correo, es decir, el tema del proyecto, ¿cierto?
El formato del proyecto yo lo comparto a través de correo electrónico. Es correcto.
Ok, gracias.
Sure thing. My pleasure. Good. Questions? No? Okay, good. So you will receive this project. Sorry.
Tengo una duda, o sea, y todos los días antes de las 12 de medianoche debemos subir el avance del proyecto.
No. El primer avance del proyecto se debe enviar a mi correo electrónico a más tardar el día 12 de diciembre, 11:59 de la noche. Es un trabajo autónomo, ustedes deben irlo realizando desde el momento en el que reciban el formato del proyecto, desde la socialización del proyecto. ¿Sí? Ustedes lo hacen autónomamente desde casa. Este día, 12 de diciembre, durante clase, nosotros pues vamos a hacer una primera revisión, como un monitoreo de lo que ustedes han hecho durante estos días. Pero ustedes deben enviar la consolidación del primer avance del proyecto en esta fecha. Yes?
Sí, muchas gracias.
Okay, sure thing. My pleasure. Questions? Okay, cool. So let's continue with the class. You will receive this project format later on today. So like I told you at the beginning of the class, today is the second day of classes. And there are some questions that I'd like to ask you. Okay, what do you do every day? This is the first question I'd like us to discuss. And I will listen to you one by one. Okay, what do you do every day? This is the first question I propose for today. I will give you 5 minutes for you to answer that question, and then I listen to everybody. If you have questions, please let me know. I'm going to be right here. All right, let's listen to you. So Andres Alvarez, let's start with you, please. What do you do every day?
Okay. Hi. So I wake when every day I wake up between 4 and 5 a.m. I go to bathroom and take a shower normally. Some days like Mondays and Wednesday, I go to university because I have English class. At 8 a.m. I return to home. I'm clean up the apartment. At 10 a.m. I start to make the lunch and finish it at around 12 p.m. At 1 p.m. I start to work in my project degree with my partner. And basically we work in it all afternoon. In the night, I make the dinner type 6 p.m. and finish it around 7 p.m. And then I study something about the project or about my work, because I work in a company in the way remote. I don't know how to say remotely. So at night I work in my work. At 10 p.m. I go to the bed. Basically this is my routine all days.
Okay, Andres, perfect. Thank you very much for having shared your answer with us. Something I forgot to tell you yesterday is that I'm always going to be making, I'm always going to be providing you with feedback. Okay, that's called immediate feedback. So while you speak, I'll be typing some observations through the chat, not just for the person who is speaking, but also for everybody. So thank you very much, Andres. You did a good job there. Now let's try with Mayra Pinzon, please. Let's listen to you. So what do you do every day?
Well, I usually get up at 4 a.m. or maybe 4:30. I brush my teeth, take a shower, and have my breakfast. About 6 or 6:45, I go to university. I start my classes at 8 a.m. in the morning. All my classes are in the morning. And then I have my lunch in mall. I go to work, and then I have a break about 3 p.m. and at 10 o'clock I go to my home and have my dinner, and then I'm studying sometimes. Finally, I go to my bed about 11 p.m.
Okay, Mayra, thank you very much for your participation. You did a good job there. Now let's try with Alejandra, please. Alejandra Roballo, let's listen to you.
Every day I get up at 7 by my mom's alarm. Then I make my bed, I brush my teeth, make my breakfast, and clean my bedroom. I take my dog out for a walk. I have a lunch, And finally, in the afternoon, I take a shower and sometimes I watch movies, cook something, and that's all. In the night, I go to the bed and go to the bed, and it's all.
Okay, Alejandra, thank you very much for your participation. You did an excellent job there. Now let's try with Ana Velasco, please. Let's listen to you.
Can you hear me?
Yep, loud and clear.
Usually, I get up and I take a shower. I start to work in my computer, and at lunchtime, sometimes, not every day, I prepare my lunch and then I eat lunch. In the afternoon, I usually spend time working or studying. Sometimes I have classes, I don't know how to say, clases de conducción.
Driving lessons. Driving lessons.
Driving lessons. And I have dinner at, I don't know, 8 or 9 p.m. And if I can, I watch some cap or series, and then I go to sleep.
Okay, Anna, perfect. Thank you very much for your participation. You did a great job there. Now let's try with Andrea, please. Andrea Bach, let's listen to you. What do you do every day?
Yes, well, in the morning, usually I wake up at 9 o'clock and take a shower, brush my teeth, and then put on my clothes. At 9, I prepare my breakfast and eat it. And from 9:30 to 11, I write a little about my thesis. Then I start to prepare my lunch. After my lunch, I take a nap for 40 minutes. In the afternoon, I continue my research, and usually I go to the laboratory in Guatiguara. Finally, at night I see the English class, and at 8 I have a dinner. At 10:30 I go to bed.
Okay, Andrea, perfect. Thank you very much for your participation. Now let's try with Andres Prada. Please, let's listen to you. What do you do every day?
Good evening. Okay. My day starts about 5:30 in the morning. The first thing that I do is brush my teeth. Then I take a bath. I put on my clothes, obviously. And then I go downstairs to have breakfast. Then I take my bag and leave to work. And then I spend time with my students until noon. And then I come home and go to the gym. Then I do my homeworks. And finally, I watch TV and I make my dinner. I go to bed about 9 p.m. when I don't study. Now I go to bed at 10 p.m. And that's my day.
Okay, Andres, perfect. Thank you very much. Yeah, I guess our routines change a little bit, but it's for the greater good, you know? So thank you very much for your participation. You did a great job there. Now let's try with Angelica. Please, let's listen to you. What do you do every day? Angelica? All right. So let's try with... okay, Angelica, I see that your microphone is on, but I cannot listen to you. Veo que el micrófono está encendido, pero no te escucho. Could you possibly check your audio settings? Don't worry, I'll try with someone else. Okay, it is now working. Cool. So let's listen to you.
Okay. Normally, I get up early, at 4 or 8 a.m. Then I practice a little yoga for 20 minutes. Later, I make my lunch and my breakfast. Then I start my job at 7 o'clock. I work in a laboratory. It's an institute of investigation of ocean. So I get up at I finish my work I don't know how you say jornada laboral. I think that
You
time
can
job.
say, working schedule or work schedule.
Working schedule. Okay, thank you. Working schedule at 5 p.m. So then I go to home and I'm preparing to English class and more.
Okay, Angelica, thank you very much. You can also say I finished work. Okay.
Yeah.
Great, thank you very much. Now let's try with Daniela. Please, let's try with you, Daniela Sierra.
Hi, teacher. Well,
Hi.
I wake up at 4 a.m. After I make my bed and grooming activities. I go to gym in morning from 4:45 to 6 a.m. I return my home and I go for a walk with my pet. His name is Attila. I take my breakfast. Later, I take a shower and get dressed to my work. My work schedule is from
You can say schedule or schedule. Both are possible.
schedule.
Uh-huh.
My schedule work is to 3:30 past 7 to 5 to 30 past 5 p.m. When at a rest in the middle of day from the 12 to 1 p.m. After that, I return to my home, or I go back to my home and take my English class right now because I started. At the weekend, I spend time with my friends, with my family. I go to church, sleep a lot, and no more.
Okay, Daniela, perfect. Thank you very much. Good job there. Now let's try with Elkin. Please, let's listen to you.
Hi, excuse me. And dear
Hello.
classmates, my day starts at 5 o'clock and I was relaxed at work. I got up and took a shower and sat in my chair and start to complete some task, pending tasks about my work. I am working in a soft web application. Did some pending tasks about this software, and at midday, excuse me, I had lunch and rest for about 1 hour and fed my dog and and took my dog out at park, and finally my work schedule finished at 5:30 and I'm here in English class since 6 p.m. 6 o'clock p.m.
Okay, Alvin, thank you very much for
Okay,
your
excuse
task.
me. Simple present tense.
Yeah, it's okay. Don't worry. Now let's try with Harold, please. Let's listen to you.
Hi, teacher. Can you hear? Can you
Yes,
hear me
sir.
well?
Loud and clear.
Okay. Every day I get up at 5 o'clock, and then I take a shower, brush my teeth, and then I go out of at home and I take the route because I am working as a quality assurance intern in a factory, and at midnight I have lunch and then I return to my job, and around 4 o'clock I return at home and I start go over my thesis, and at night I usually watch 1 hour of TV, and then um I make my dinner and my lunch, and finally I go to my bed. That's all.
Okay, Harold, perfect. Thank you very much for your participation. Now let's try with John Blanco, please. Thank you.
Hello, teacher. Can
Hello.
you hear me well?
Yes, sir, loud and clear.
Okay. I usually get up at 6 p.m. Sometimes I get up at 5:30 a.m. and I like go to the gym. I train for about 1 hour. Then I go to work the rest of the day in the office. I work in a electrical design company. At night, I like to watch a series on Netflix, but now at night I am improving my level, my English level. And finally, at the weekends, I like to spend my time at my grandparents' farm. And no more.
Okay, John, thank you very much for your participation. You did an excellent job there. Now let's try with John Carrero, please. Let's listen to you.
Hello, good evening, everyone. So, well, I get up around 6 o'clock in the morning and make my bed. After that, I have a breakfast. And then I take a shower and get ready to work. I work and I study all day. At noon, I have lunch and then I continue working. At I usually get home at a o'clock and prepare my dinner. And finally, I get ready to sleep. Before that, I usually read a book and that's it.
Okay, John, excellent. Thank you very much for your participation. It was great. Now let's try with Joeli, please. Let's try with you.
Hi.
Hi.
At the moment, I don't have like a wake up time because I am waiting for the approve of the TJ. I don't know how to say, trabajo de grado. But the things that I do is like first I make my bed, brush my teeth, and also I make lunch for all my family, and then I take a bath to go to the university at around 1 o'clock, and at the night I come up home, and before of these things I usually study at the night, but now I have English class, and that's it.
Hey, Joeli, thank you very much for your participation. You did great. Now let's try with, let me see. Jordan, right?
Hi.
Jordan, is Jordan correct?
Yes,
Okay, thank you, Jordan. Let's listen to you.
I wake up at 7 a.m. I wash my feet and I prepare to work. I work from 8 to 5 p.m. I usually eat chicken with rice for lunch and eggs for dinner. I like to rest because I work from home between meals.
Okay, Jordan, excellent. Thank you very much for your participation. Now let's try with Luisa. Please, let's listen to you.
Okay, teacher. So every day I get up about 7 or 8 a.m. After that, I have breakfast and take a shower, brush my teeth, and take my dog out. When I come back to my house, I do housework. After that, I have a lunch and go to university by bus. After classes, I go to my home and I have a dinner. And finally, I go to bed at about 11 p.m.
Hey, Luisa, perfect. Thank you very much for your participation. You did great. Now let's try with Silvia Duran, please. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, normally I start my day like 6 a.m. and I get ready and go to my work. Most of the time I have my breakfast there. I work in a shoes factory, so I organize all the tasks of the day depending of the previous day. Not every day is the same, but I usually in charge of the employers or their customers or different important payment that must be made. And normally after work, I went to the gym or for a walk, but from this week, I go back home for this English class. And yeah, that's all.
Okay, Silvia, thank you very much. It was great. Now let's try with Stephanie, please.
Hi, teacher.
Hello.
If it's a university day, I get head up early, I take a shower, I have a breakfast and go to class. In the afternoon, I rest, I do my hobbies. At night, I study, I do my homework and everything pending that I have. And I usually go to bed at 11:30.
Okay, Stephanie, thank
I
you very
do
much.
not.
Yes, I do know. Sorry. Were you going to say something else?
Yes, yes. The days in which I do not go to the university, I get up late and I like to read paper for my research projects. The rest of the day is the same.
Okay, Stephanie, excellent. Thank you very much for your participation. Now let's try with, okay, there are two Stephanies here. Yui, let's listen to you, please.
Hi, teacher.
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I wake up at 5 a.m. I brush my teeth. After that, I make my breakfast and I ride bicycle with my cousin for 1 hour. At 7 a.m., I go back to my home and I take a shower. At 8 a.m., I go to my work. I work with my father in a plastic factory until 6 p.m. In the middle of the day, I have my lunch with my parents and I take a nap. And finally, I study English from 2 to 10 p.m. After that, I go to my bed at 11 p.m.
Okay, did you say from 2?
Yes, teacher.
You study English for 8 hours non-stop?
No,
2 to 10?
sorry.
No?
6 to 10.
Oh, okay, good. I was like, oh my God, that's surprising. Great, Judy. Thank you very much. It was great. Now let's start with Stephanie Sandoval, please. Can you hear me? Hello? Can somebody hear me?
Sí, profe.
Okay, thank you very much for your
Yes,
confirmation.
sure.
Stephanie, let's listen to you.
Is it the same? Is the usual Helica?
Oh, okay. Yeah, same thing as yesterday. Why is that again? Porque es que,
Sorry, in this moment I can listen very well from my computer. So I start session in my cell phone to listen the audio and see the presentation in computer.
okay, thank you. You already participated. Great. Yeah, I forgot about that. Thank you very much, everybody. You did an excellent job. Congratulations. Now, yeah, again, something maybe I forgot to tell you yesterday is that I'm constantly going to be providing you with immediate feedback. So I make observations in the chat, not just for the person who is speaking at the moment, but also for everybody. Now, some of the things I noticed are related with the influence of mother tongue, which is Spanish in this case, on L2, which is English, which we are trying to study, learn, and acquire. But that's totally okay. Don't worry. These observations are just for you to learn more about English. Okay. Now, for example, in Spanish, we have to use the definite article along with the names of the meals. Okay. So in Spanish, we say el desayuno, el almuerzo, la comida. La once, la media mañana, la media tarde, el algo, whatever you want to call it. But in English, we say breakfast. So I eat breakfast, I make breakfast, I cook breakfast, I order breakfast. Same thing happens with lunch. So I eat lunch, I have lunch, I order lunch, I cook lunch, etc. And same principle applies for dinner. Yeah, I eat dinner, I did dinner, sorry. I have dinner, I order dinner, I make dinner. Supper is another possibility, which is a synonym. So dinner and supper are synonyms, okay? So in English, we don't say the breakfast, the lunch, the dinner, the supper. We say breakfast, lunch, dinner, and so on. Now, I go home. Yeah, I go home, same thing. In Spanish, it would be like voy a la casa, voy al apartamento, regreso a la casa. Yeah, in English, it would be I go home, I go back home, etc. In Spanish, we say ir a dormir, acostarse a dormir, or sometimes some people say ir a la cama. Yeah. In English, the expression is go to bed. Okay. We do not need the definite article there. We simply say go to bed. Now, when we want to refer to the moments of the day, we say in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening, or at night. Okay. In the evening or at night. Both are possible. And at the weekend, it's another possibility. Yes, Gilbert, do you have a question?
Yes, teacher. Hi. So this is my first class. I just arrived today.
Welcome.
So yeah, yeah, this is my first class, and I can't connect to the class early because I was traveling. So I don't know. I know that someone called to my mother, asked about me that
one of the coordinators.
I need to. Yeah, I think so.
It's okay. Don't worry. We do this as a protocol to make sure that students are okay and that students attend to the classes. I understand this is your first class, so don't worry. You're very welcome. It's a pleasure to meet you. My name is Omar. And well, there are 22 students in this class. Right now, we are discussing a question. The question is, what do you do every day? Do you feel like you can answer the question? Gilbert?
No more. That's great. Thank you.
Okay, sure thing. But I have a question for you. Do you feel like you can answer the question? What do you do every day?
Okay,
Can you
which
do it?
question?
What do you do every day? You tell me. If you feel like you can do it, if you feel comfortable, we will listen to you. If not, then we will continue with the class. Don't worry, I understand this is your first class, but you let me know. When the microphones is on. Yeah, I don't know whose microphone it is.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Ah, okay, but I don't see your microphone there. Gilbert, bueno, es un placer conocerlo. Mi nombre es Omar, soy el profesor del primer bloque. Como le reenvié la información por correo electrónico, no se preocupe, a veces hay inconvenientes pues de conexión. Nosotros pues tenemos un protocolo, muy seguramente quien llamó fue la coordinadora de seguimiento. No se preocupe, es para asegurarnos que los estudiantes pues asisten a las clases, pero ya pues usted nos informa que fue por un problema de conexión. Ok, en este momento pues estamos terminando de socializar la respuesta a la pregunta What do you do every day? Y le estaba preguntando que si de pronto usted nos puede responder esta pregunta en este momento. Si no, no pasa nada, no hay ningún inconveniente. Algo que de pronto mencioné, olvidé mencionarles ayer, es que las clases son grabadas precisamente con la intención que si de pronto se les presenta algún inconveniente, ustedes puedan revisar la grabación de las clases. Ustedes recibirán correos electrónicos con los enlaces para las grabaciones de las clases. Sin embargo, pues recordemos la importancia de la asistencia, 80% mínimo de asistencia también pues para aprobar. Okay, but don't worry, you're very welcome to the class. Yesterday is, don't worry about yesterday, okay, because you're a new student, you just started the process today. Entonces por ayer no se preocupe porque usted inicia apenas hoy, okay, so don't worry. So Gilbert, can we listen to you maybe? What do you do every day? Oh, John, yeah, okay, welcome. Sorry, didn't identify. Okay, it's a pleasure to have you here. Both of you, John and Gilbert, you're very welcome. This is our class. We started classes yesterday. In your case, don't worry about yesterday's attendance because you received the information today. So don't worry, okay? Yeah, sure thing, my pleasure. So Gilbert, can we listen to you? Okay, don't worry. So I was saying that thank you very much, everybody. You did a great job. And remember, I'm always gonna be giving you immediate feedback via chat. So please make sure that you check the chat. Now, to continue with this vocabulary section, I have a Kahoot for you. And I want to know if maybe you have not had the opportunity to play Kahoot before. Is there anybody here who hasn't played Kahoot before? Yeah, they are really cool. So I guess everybody knows Kahoot. You have played Kahoot before? Yeah?
Yes, just yesterday.
Alguien que... Oh, okay.
We played Kahoot with the teacher.
With Professor Marilyn?
Marilyn, yes.
Okay, great. Okay, cool. So we're gonna have another Kahoot session today. This one is on everyday activities, okay? And then we will continue with some more practice. So if you have your cell phone by your side, maybe you can use the cell phone to answer the questions. You can see the questions from my screen. If not, well, you can open a second tab. You'll see the question from my screen, and then you choose the correct answers from the second tab. Okay, so again, this Kahoot is on everyday activities. Give me just a second because sometimes, okay, I have to do the whole process again. Don't worry. Luisa, have you got a question? Luisa, I can see that you're raising your hand. Have you got a question?
Sí, profe, lo que pasa es que acabo de llegar a la casa, entonces para que, si por favor me pueden esperar 2 minutos mientras prendo el computador para entrar al Kahoot.
Yeah, normally I give students 2 minutes to join the session. Don't worry. Thank you very much for informing me though. So here you are the link to enter the PIN. And this is the PIN to the Kahoot. So you will have about 2 to 3 minutes maximum to join the session, and then we will start. So this is the PIN to this Kahoot session, 391 5383. You'll have about 3 minutes to join the session, and then we will start.
I can see the answer. Only I can see the.
Remember, you need 2 tabs, okay? So from my screen, you will see the questions, but then you need a second tab for you to choose the correct answer. If maybe you have the cell phone by your side, it will be easier that way. If not, you can always open a second tab. Okay, I'll share the link once again. I'm going to say it in Spanish. De pronto, para quienes no han jugado Kahoot o de pronto en línea, como estamos en línea, necesitan pues 2 pestañas o 2 pantallas. ¿Listo? Si de pronto tienen el celular con ustedes, desde el celular pueden ingresar el PIN y en el celular van a encontrar las opciones de respuesta. Sin embargo, desde mi pantalla van a ver las preguntas. Si no tienen el celular o un segundo dispositivo electrónico de apoyo, pues pueden abrir una segunda pestaña y cambian entre pestañas. Entonces, desde una ven las preguntas, que es lo que estoy proyectando, y desde la otra seleccionan las respuestas. You got it? All right, let's continue. Okay, so congratulations to the winners and runners-up, and thank you everybody for having participated in this Kahoot activity on everyday activities. Now, let's go back to the book. Ooh, just close. I'm going to log in again, just a second. Now, something about vocabulary. It's the fact that you have to study it by heart. Okay, in your exams, you will be in the writing section of your exams, you will be asked to complete some descriptions with, you're going to be presented with some descriptions based on vocabulary, and then you have to complete those descriptions with the corresponding word, okay? So please study vocabulary by heart. It's very important that you do it. And the vocabulary and everything you're going to be asked about in your exams is based on book, ¿ok? Entonces, algo muy importante sobre las secciones de vocabulario que estudiemos, lo voy a decir en español rápidamente, es que debemos estudiarlo de memoria, ¿listo? En sus exámenes, por ejemplo, en la sección de escritura, en la parte de vocabulario, porque hay un componente de vocabulario, normalmente se proporcionan unas descripciones y ustedes deben completar las descripciones con la palabra que corresponde. Por eso es muy importante aprender el vocabulario de memoria. Si una letra queda mal toda la palabra. So, please practice vocabulary by heart. Good. So, those are just some examples of everyday activities. Going to the gym, doing your hair, looking after children, chatting to friends, doing paperwork, tidying up, playing video games, putting on makeup. Now, be careful with the spelling of makeup, okay? With a hyphen, it is a noun. If you do not use a hyphen, it becomes a verb. Hanging out with friends, going to social networking sites such as Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, I don't know, you name it. Commuting. To commute is to use public transportation, to go to the office, to go to school, to go to university, and so on. Going shopping, relaxing, doing the ironing, texting, and doing nothing. Okay, now hanging out with friends is to spend time with friends. Maybe you go to a bar, maybe you go to a disco, maybe you go to a restaurant, maybe you go to a park to just gather and do nothing, you know, that's to hang out with friends. And well, yeah, that's it. Now, I have some videos for you. Let's continue. Here are examples of people like the first activity we worked on today, talking about everyday activities. Okay, so again, I'm going to say it in Spanish once again. Nuevamente, la intención al compartirles los enlaces de clase, los videos, etcétera, es que ustedes de pronto puedan copiarlos y pegarlos y crear una base de datos de estudio autónomo, ¿cierto? Es un material sugerido, igual ustedes pues pueden complementarlo autónomamente. Por eso me gusta compartirles todos los enlaces de todas las actividades por el chat. Sin embargo, pues vamos a estar trabajando principalmente desde mi pantalla, todos, okay? So, that's the link to this first video. However, I'll play it from my screen, like I just told you. So, I hope you find this example useful, educational, and instructional. Let's start.
Hi, my name is Austin. I'm an average 15-year-old of southeastern United States. I live in a pretty normal house, in a pretty normal city, in a not-so-normal country. I'd say my day usually starts off the same as most other American teenagers. My alarm clock wakes me up in the morning, and I get myself out of bed. I get ready, take care of my dog, and eat breakfast. Some families sit down and have breakfast together, but not all families have time for that. My sister and I hop into my dad's car so we can drop us off at our schools. I'd say about half of American high schoolers get driven by their parents to school, while the other half takes the bus. After I arrive, I talk to my friends and we wait for the bell. I then visit my locker to get my books for my first class. I revisit my locker 2 or 3 times during the day, since I change classrooms for each of my 4 daily classes. When lunchtime comes, I head to the cafeteria and get food from the lunch line. After eating lunch with my friends, I head back to class and finish my classes for the day. Once school ends, most American teenagers have an after-school activity, such as sports or extra music and art classes. I get ready for my sports practice. Head to the running track behind the school. My mom picks me up afterwards, and I head home for the day. When I get back home, I take care of my dog again, take a shower, and get my homework done. Dinner time eventually comes around. And we have a chance to talk as a family. After we're done eating, we sit down and have a family devotional. I then relax by watching TV or playing the game. Then around 10 o'clock, I brush my teeth and climb into bed. My day has come to an end.
Okay, and here is a second example. Here you are. Let's watch it.
And could you tell me what you usually do during the week?
Usually during the week, I mean, I go to a couple films. I like to go to the movies, the independent films.
How often do you do laundry?
As little as possible.
Do you take a nap in the afternoon?
I don't take a nap in the afternoon. I don't get a chance to.
What time do you usually eat breakfast?
Between 6:30 and 7.
What time do you usually eat lunch?
At noon.
What about dinner? When do you?
Dinner, I love to have dinner around 6, which is not too late, because if it's too late, I can sleep. So most of the time around 6, 7.
So would you say you're a morning person or an evening person?
I'm more of an evening person.
And why do you say that?
I think that it takes me a really long time to wake up. So usually anything after 12, I'm good to go. And by 7, I'm like at full energy.
Okay, and those were just some examples of activities people do on a daily basis. I was too close to the camera. Great. Now let's go back to the book. There are some activities for us to work on. Vocabulary section, page 11, exercises 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so please. Oh, I have been informed better. You already have the pin to access the books, ¿ok? Me informaron que desde ayer cuentan con el pin de acceso a los libros, ¿ok? Si no han hecho el registro, por favor, hagan el registro. Sometimes I will be displaying the material from my screen, but it is also important that you have your own material, okay? So please open your books to page 11 and go to the vocabulary section, everyday activities. The activity I'd like us to work on is this one here, exercises 2, 3, and 4. So, exercise 2, write the activities from exercise 1A in the correct category below. Some activities can go in more than one category. Then think of more activities to add to each category. Now, this part, we can omit the last part of this instruction, okay? Simply, let's classify these activities into these different categories. We have sport or fitness, social, domestic, personal care, or other. Consider the fact that some activities can go in more than one category. Now, exercise number 3. It says match the phrases in A with their opposites in B. Which verb is used in all of the phrases? So the idea is that we use this activity to match, okay? These expressions can be used in order to talk about the things we love doing, things that are important, and so on, okay? So we just have to match the opposites, column A and column B. And that's for now, okay? So activities number 2 and number 3, you will have 5 minutes, give or take a few, to solve these 2 exercises, and then we will be checking together. I will also type the instructions via chat. Okay, let's check. So let's do it like this. I'm going to mention the activity and you tell me the category. I think it's better that way. So what about going to the gym? Is it sport, business, social, domestic, personal care, or other?
Sport fitness.
Okay, sport, fitness, mainly. Thank you. Doing your hair?
Other?
Personal care.
Ah, okay.
Personal care. Okay, thank you. What about looking after children?
Domestic.
Yeah, being like domestic. Thank you. What about chatting to friends?
Social.
That's social. Thank you. Now let's see. Doing paperwork.
Other?
Other?
Thank you. Now let's see. Tidying up. What about tidying up?
Domestic.
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 That would be domestic. Okay. Playing video games.
Domestic.
Sport?
Well, I would
Social.
say that playing video games is a sport.
Right.
Maybe we have gamification, tournaments, and all of that. But yeah, I think it's more like social.
Social, yes,
or
category.
maybe other, because you can also play video games on your own. Yeah, or you can play online. So it would be like social or other. What about putting on makeup?
Personal.
Personal care.
Personal care.
That is correct. Hanging out with friends.
Social.
Social.
Going on social networking sites.
Social.
Yeah.
Social.
What about commuting?
Other.
Let's talk other. Thank you. Going
Ver,
shopping.
no es. Other.
Yeah, other. Going shopping.
Social?
Social or other?
It could be social or it could be other, you know, because maybe you can go shopping with your friends or something. Like, I don't know. Now it's Christmas. It's always about Christmas time. So normally friends and families go shopping for Christmas together. So this could be regarded as a social activity. So I agree with you, social and other. What about relaxing?
Personal care.
Personal care.
Personal care. Yeah, personal care, maybe others too. Doing the ironing.
Domestic.
Domestic.
Texting. What about texting?
Social.
Social. And doing nothing.
Other.
Other. I agree. I think it's other. Now, exercise number 3. We're asked to match the expressions in column A with the opposites in column B. The first one was given to you as an example. So I really love, for example, I really love going shopping. I really love relaxing. I really love doing nothing. That's my favorite plan ever, doing nothing. Okay. What about, and I can stand. So I can stand looking after children, for example. I cannot stand looking after children. I can stand, I think that's the only one I can't stand. Okay. So you can use these expressions to talk about your likes, dislikes, preferences, the things you love to do, the things you love doing, the things you can't stand, and so on. Again, notice that we gotta use an ing form for activities here. So let's go for the second one. It's very important to me. Goes with which letter?
B. I'm not pretty good at.
Isn't
very
important to me.
Isn't very important to me. So number 2 goes with E. For example, I don't know. Let's see, putting on makeup. Yeah, putting on makeup isn't very important to me, but
hanging out.
Well,
relaxing.
Important, but I would say that more doing paperwork. Doing paperwork is very important to me. You know, teachers, we're always busy doing a lot of paperwork, like planning lessons, marking exams, and so on and so forth. So, yeah, like doing
Teacher,
paperwork.
I have a question.
Sure, what's your
Paperwork,
question?
paperwork is like work or is like organize or clean?
I think it's like both. You know, remember the movie from Monsters Incorporated? No existe tu papeleo, Mike Wazowski. Yeah, remember that? So it's like part of the duties that you have to do for the office or something. Like in my case, doing paperwork deals with marking exams, sending observations, registering observations, giving feedback, and so on. That's paperwork. In other, I don't know, fields of study and enterprises and so on and so forth. For example, if you are working on the sales market, so billing, yeah, billing would be part of the paperwork. So I think it's yes, both.
Okay.
Yeah,
Like report.
Writing reports, that's also considered as paperwork. Yeah, I would say that's part of paperwork. Okay, now let's go for number 3. I spend a lot of time. Which letter goes with number 3?
I don't spend much time.
I don't spend much time. So for example, I spend a lot of time doing paperwork, and I don't spend much time
hanging out with friends.
Or hanging out with friends. Yeah. Okay, good. Now 4, I'm quite good at goes with
I'm not
very good at. No, that is correct. 4 goes with B. Something important about, well, I told you, I think, well, there is something called compare linguistics, okay? Lingüística comparada. So sometimes I'm going to be using Spanish for you to show you the differences and the similarities between the two languages. A veces voy a utilizar español para ejercicios cortos de lingüística comparada, para que miremos cómo se parecen los idiomas, en este caso la combinación lingüística inglés-español, pero cómo difieren a la vez. So this is related to collocations, okay? Collocations, and there are different types of collocations in English. Collocations, we have like phrasal verbs, which can be regarded as examples of collocations or not. We also have preposition dependent adjectives and verbs. And there are many other phrases and expressions that are related to collocations. Now, collocation comes from Latin, which means collocare, put together. So 2 words or more, or expressions that go together. In Spanish, we say ser bueno, ser buena en algo o para algo, right? In English, however, we say good at. De la preposición en español, bueno en, buena en. Buena para, bueno para. Pero en inglés es good at, okay? Good at. If we're talking about activities, good at. So I'm good at playing, I'm good at, I don't know, cooking. I'm good at cooking, okay? I am good at jokes, or I'm good at arranging an important activity for someone. Yeah. Or you can say I'm not very good at playing soccer. For example, if I had been born in Brazil, I think that my last name would be Tronquinho, because I am really bad at playing soccer. I'm not very good at playing soccer. I'm bad at playing soccer. Okay. So this is the expression that we use in English: good at, bad at. Now, if something is beneficial for your health, like for example, broccoli is good for your brain, that would be different. In this case, we use the preposition for. Okay, so I'm quite good at cooking, but I am not very good at playing soccer. Now, I'm really into, here is another one, really into. When you are really into something, it's because you are very interested in that something, okay? It's like in Spanish would be muy metido en el cuento, sí, muy interesado. So I am really into, I don't know, learning languages. I am really into teaching English or something like that. So number 5 goes with which one? I'm really into. Which letter?
I'm not very interested
in. I'm not very interested in. Okay, and here is another example of a collocation. This, again, is a preposition dependent adjective, es decir, un adjetivo que depende de una preposición o que va junto con una preposición específica. Interested in, really into, important to, spend a lot of time in, okay? Good at, not very good at, and that's it, okay? Good. So have you got any questions about these? maybe, or is it clear for everybody? No?
It's clear.
Clear? Okay, cool. Thank you
Sure,
very
I
much.
can stand.
I
what is the
can
meaning?
stand. It's something that you definitely do not tolerate. Maybe something you are not patient. Like can stand es no poder soportar algo, give or take if you like. For example, I can't stand people who do not respect the line. Okay, that's an example in my case. No, no tolero, no soporto a las personas que se colan, que se meten en la fila, que no respeten la fila, right? So I can't stand people who do not respect the line, for example. I can't stand, if we associate this expression to some of the activities here, like I can't stand tidying up, or I can't stand doing the ironing, or I can't stand looking after children. Those are just examples. Is it clear?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, thank you very much for asking the question. Now, we're just about to finish with this class. Quick reminder, we are not always going to be working on all of the activities, but you can do it if you have the time. Recuerden que no siempre vamos a trabajar en todas las actividades del libro. El libro pues es una herramienta más de clase, así como los videos, así como el Kahoot. Sin embargo, si de pronto queda un ejercicio sin realizar, ustedes tienen acceso al material, lo pueden revisar autónomamente a manera de práctica individual. ¿Listo? Una observación ya para finalizar. Es muy importante para nuestros procesos de seguimiento, para el registro de asistencia, que cuando ustedes ingresen a las clases, por favor utilicen primer nombre y primer apellido o nombre completo, ¿sí? De esta manera pues es más fácil. Por favor, no ingresemos con seudónimos, ni con las iniciales del apellido, con las iniciales del nombre, porque pues de esta manera se hace más fácil el registro de asistencia y el seguimiento que nosotros hacemos a los estudiantes. ¿Ok? Entonces, Omar Parra, Omar David Parra Peña, ¿sí? Alejandra Roballo, pues está bien, por ejemplo, primer nombre, primer apellido. Por aquí me reportaron también unos casitos, ¿sí? Entonces, por favor, para que lo tengan presente para las próximas clases, próximos encuentros con la profesora Marilyn también y conmigo. ¿Ok? John.
Tengo una pregunta. ¿Ahorita nosotros terminamos esta clase y nos tenemos que conectar a otra o...?
Utilicen el mismo enlace, es un enlace recurrente y se conectan al segundo bloque de clase que es con la profesora Marilyn a las 8.
Ah, ok, perfecto.
Son 4
Thank
horas de
you.
clase. Sure thing, my pleasure. Son 4 horas de clase. Primer bloque distribuido haciendo bloques. Primer bloque de 6 a 7:50. Segundo bloque de 8 a 9:50 con el mismo enlace que es un enlace recurrente. Pero pues ahorita hacemos cambios de salas y ya van a continuar con la profesora Marilyn. Right? Good.
Perfect.
That's all for today. So thank you very much, everybody, for your participation. You have been great. It's been a pleasure. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye now. Take care. Bye-bye.
Before we go, I'm sorry.
Yeah, tell me. See you tomorrow.
So do we have a WhatsApp group?
Yes, we do.
Can you
I mean,
share?
not yet. Okay, thank you so much for reminding me. I have not been able to create a WhatsApp group, but that's my cell phone number. So just reach me via WhatsApp. So, hi, I'm John Carrero B1.1. Okay, and I'll add you. I think I'll be working on the WhatsApp groups tomorrow. Good.
Okay,
Bye-bye, everybody. Take care. My pleasure.
Bye-bye.
Bye, teacher.
Bye. Bye, teacher.
Bye.
Bye.